Loading snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Loading Snacks Anime Chat Podcast, episode 30. The usual suspects, I would say, are in the building. Myself, Noah, and Gabby are here to discuss anime like we like to do every time we come together. So we'll switch it up a little bit this week. Gabby, we're going to start off at the top with the first thing on the docket with is the topic. So what do we have to discuss this week?
Yay! So today's topic is another slightly controversial one in the anime and manga community, and that is the concept of a lolly. Those little girls that are older are the
Hey,
children
making that face,
that
though.
look. Hold on, no, you're good. You're good.
He's like, I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this one.
God, keep going.
You gave me a face there.
I just heard the word lollies. That instantly raises a flag in my head.
Well, it's a debate topic question. It's supposed to raise flags. A lot
All
of
right,
mine
all right.
have. So, the concept of lollies is just a small little girl, sometimes, most of the time, unfortunately, typically over sexualized, wearing revealing clothing, but they're very childlike. Now, they can be people that are older and just are like extremely
Are they
short.
typically over sexualized though?
You could it's a very big trope that people like to
Because I
do
was
is
gonna
the
say
lewd
all the lollies I can
lolly.
think of aren't sexualized. But
Now,
keep going.
see, that's what's people are debating. A lot of people say lollies are mostly sexualized, but there's another majority that says they're not. You people just have weird taste, and it also depends on the culture that you're kind of coming at it from. The original culture or a lot of westernized cultures is like, no, it's promoting the bad thing, the P
Mhm,
word.
mhm.
So I don't know. What do you think? We'll start off about lollies. What is your immediate reaction to them? Do you think they're over sexualized? Do you think they're just a stereotypical type of character? How do they play into, I guess, anime as a whole?
I've never been a lolly person. Never
Mhm.
been my thing. Don't really. I'm kind of indifferent to them. Like I said, I've been watching anime for so long that I just look at those like that's just an anime, Japanese or whatever thing. Like those type of characters. Do I think they're over sexualized? I'm trying to think of in an anime where I've seen over sexualization of lollies. I'm trying to think because usually they're like in like they dress up like maids or whatever with the big dresses and stuff like that. A lot of time ponytails and stuff. Like I don't. I'm trying to think of anime where I've seen them sexualized. It's not like hentai
Every
or some character
isekai?
like that.
Yeah, isekais do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I see that more as I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and maybe it's not overtly sexualized in a sense, but a lot of them are very short skirts, kind of revealing clothing. Obviously, if maybe they don't have chest, it's just like, oh, there's like a cutout there where in a larger chested normal woman, there would be large cleavage, but obviously it's a lolly, so they don't really have those. So it's like, is it sexualized? But the revealing clothing is a big part of it
Hmm.
from a lot of the sources that I was reading through Reddit posts, people having the discussions. A lot of it is based off of clothing. I know people don't feel like if they just see a lolly in like the big frilly dresses, kind of like what Byakuya wears in ReZero.
Hmm.
That's there. Byakuya is a good example of a lolly, but not obviously not over sexualized. She's
When I
just a
see when I
lolly.
think of lolly, that's what I'm thinking. That's the first image
Yeah.
that pops in my head. Somebody dressed like that,
Hmm.
not like the I guess the stripped down clothing and all that kind of stuff. Like that one does that. That's not even the first thing that pops in my head. It's the
Yeah.
ones with the big dresses and stuff like that. So that's what I mean. Like I don't see her like that specific character like over sexualized.
Hmm.
But I can
Well,
see
she's still sexualized. Her dress comes up to her daggone thighs, and she's got long tights on. M and what is it? Rim and Ram are both sexualized as well. So
Yeah.
that's a bad example. But
yeah.
Fair.
um continue with your point that you were making.
Well, no, it was mostly like I don't see them getting sexualized like in the anime like that, where like a whole bunch of sexual things are like happening to them. If you know what I mean, I guess I see the fan base over sexualizing them, but not like in the actual like story and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I see them more sexualized in the real life than I do like in the animations and the portrayals of them. If that makes sense. I see the sexualization there rather than in the like original source material of
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I've never been a lolly person though.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
like
hope not.
you know, what I'm saying I'm thinking like I said, the ones with the big dresses and stuff like that. Those I've never. It's just yeah, okay, whatever. That's that type of character. Keep it moving.
You say you're a lolly person, you definitely are a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I think that yeah, um, I think that uh it definitely is trying to like feed a fantasy, and that's what I said before about etchies. But I said this to my buddy Jake before that unfortunately, I mean, there's PDF files everywhere, but unfortunately, they portray a lot of that in their culture there and like the media,
Yes.
not the culture, but like the media. And that goes in all aspects, even from like my friends who have been um, which I don't even want to say the name because I'm not trying to sound like I'm pooping on this place, but
Hmm.
like you know where I'm talking about. Even though I've had friends that have been or lived there, they've said that like even like women's mannerism of flirting is kind of like to act childish. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hmm.
And that's like sort of like their portrayal is like young and portraying like a sweet and innocent sort of like style as far as like what you like on like a puppy dog level and like a sexual level. So I
Hmm.
feel like normal people like us, it doesn't phase us because we're just like that's just another character, unless it's like too weird.
Yeah.
Like they had this Konoichi anime a few seasons back, and it was just absolutely weird. It was like a whole bunch of like 8-year-olds in like tiny bikinis and stuff like that, all being ninjas, and it's just like this is just like I always wonder how you get a group of adults to agree on that, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's so deeply in their like their portrayal in their media that that oftentimes they just push the lines little bits, and then people are just sitting there like, well, we have this or we have that, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Hmm.
As to where over here, um, they at least the ones that exist try and hide it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
so
Yes, they do.
so I'm not saying it's a good thing because we have them here too. That I think they exist everywhere, but it's just that it's very strongly portrayed in their media. So when you see stuff like lollies and like the fact that a lot of the stories are adult stories with a lot of children, like Made in Abyss, for
Hmm.
example, and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Hmm. Yeah.
then it's just like why? Like you could have just made this person an adult. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
Um,
you had to make them kids.
but they're trying to feed, but I also think it comes into the writer too because that's what the writer is trying to create. I don't always think a writer is trying to create a story that people will love. Sometimes like the beginning after the end writer, he created that story for fun, and then it turned out to be good and got picked up.
Yeah.
But he was creating it for himself. So sometimes that's how writers are, and that's a portrayal of what they like, what they want to see, and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And I feel like the people who make those crazy weird fan pictures and stuff, I think those are the ones who it's truly made for, those types of characters. But I definitely could
Feeding
say you
into it.
could just make them because it's definitely a thing. It's like make a childish character, but make it grown so that way you can get away with any
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
action done to this character because it's supposedly so many
Because they're
years old.
technically an adult, even though
Hmm.
Yeah.
they look like they're 7. Yeah.
So it's like you could just make them an adult. You know what I mean? But some could argue that's like the charm of anime, that's their art style and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really see that in almost any other media. So
Yeah.
I'm all for getting rid of it, to be honest. But
Wouldn't miss it.
I try to
But
stay clear of the ones that do it crazy. So it doesn't really bother me
because there are
otherwise
some out there
with
that
stuff like
absolutely
ReZero
do.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. I have no qualms with the character type lolly in a sense, just because it's more of the how it looks, the unsexualized normal version, where it's just like tiny, cute little girls in frilly dresses. I always think, I mean, that's just a girl appeal. I think it appeals to a lot of female audiences in that point. But when they start doing the NSW part of it, that's where it really gets into that, you know, cultural territory of that. That's what they like, as you
Hmm.
were
That's
writing,
what
Noah.
that's my thing though, is like I would agree, but I feel like it's not being made for that purpose.
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
would
That's
agree
why
that like
it's yeah.
a lot of girls, but like anywhere else, a lot of these stories with like these really feminine characters, not that it's
Yeah.
wrong to be a man and write feminine characters, but would be written by women.
Yeah.
And that's because they're really good with their emotional and feminine side
Hmm.
much better than men. So oftentimes you would see these types of characters that are made in manga, especially
Mm.
in isekai and like just like the whole big brother, like a shield hero, the big brother trope in general, like that
Hmm.
whole thing. It's like raising a child and then they fall in love with you, which is literally grooming. Like that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's like that's
Yeah.
like feeding tiny bits of a little bit of a fantasy that I'm not
That
really.
is for
That's why
sure.
I can never really watch ecchi because I'm like, you're trying to make me
Yeah.
horny in a weird way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most of these
Yeah.
are like weird. It's not just like normal. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, if it was with good intention, then I would be fine and people would be sexualizing it. But the problem is they want it to be sexualized. So
That's very true. The
Absolutely.
intent behind it is definitely not pure for a
yeah.
majority of the people that use the Loli archetype, I guess in a sense.
Right.
Whatever we're gonna call it, character type. But it's cute, but it's dangerous.
Yeah. Especially you click on the wrong anime, it can be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
click on the
So
wrong picture. Don't
Mm-hmm.
go on Twitter.
Yep.
Don't go on Twitter. Don't search
It
Lolly.
just
You'll
gets
see
me
more than you need.
because like the weirdos out there who obviously don't have access to, you know what I mean, PDF IO content can get their rocks off on stuff like that. And
Yes.
that's why it's like anytime
absolutely,
I
yeah.
see stuff like that, I'm just like, I steer far clear.
Look, why do we stay away from the ice skating one? We saw the cover and we was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. That looks
That's
kind of
very
sketchy.
true.
Yeah. And then you actually heard good things about it, took the time to watch, like, no, we're safe on this one. We can watch this one. It's cool. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
gotta be careful with the
Use your
artwork too
better
sometimes.
judgment, people.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But all right, so that's our topic on lollies. Thank you very much for that, Gabby. All
Yeah.
right, on to the news segment on the docket. Noah, what do we need to know
Okay.
about this week?
Why don't y'all do top threes? I'll do news next.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah,
All
because
right,
I'm still
top
drinking my
threes.
tea.
Like I told you all, it was WrestleMania week and weekend, so I was completely locked in. I caught up on. I did catch up on a new anime this week that I did tell Gabe about before we started. I watched the Dinner Table Detective.
Yeah.
I watched like all 3 episodes of that. I really enjoyed that. It's funny, it's entertaining. I'm liking the three main characters in it. The heiress who's a detective, but she's not that good at it. At least that's
Mhm.
how they're pitching it. I don't think it's that. I just think that her butler is like just so intuitive and just smart. And has the doctor, not doctor, but her bartender that follows her around and
Mhm.
helps her. She's trying to keep her airness like in secret so nobody knows at her job. She dresses down and everything before she goes to the job. Uh, Fun, interesting missions that they've done. We've done I think 2 missions so far, two cases so far, because the first
Yeah.
2 episodes were part one and part two, and then the
Mhm.
last one. I enjoy it. It's something fun and different for me in the midst of all this action that I'm currently watching right now. So it's a nice little break up from that I enjoyed. I watched the new Guilty Gear. Uh, I enjoyed it. I'm actually going and playing Strive while I'm watching it. So like, since I've never played Strive, but I've had it forever.
Mhm.
Whenever a new character comes in, I go right to the game and start playing with them just to check out their movements and stuff like that. So personally, for me, I'm having fun watching it because of that. And I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of turning up with the action in the Guilty Gear show. The Old Country Bumpkin. I watched the new episode of that. That was entertaining. I'm liking that show even more now.
What's
Yeah.
that one about?
Uh, a swordsman who lives in the country with his father, and he's trained like people throughout the years.
Mhm.
They've gone off to do things, and the kingdom wants him to come back and like train some up and coming people.
Mhm.
And as he's walking around the city and getting to see everybody, he's catching up with his old students. Like, oh, I forgot I used to train you. And now they're like beasts. And oh my god, I'm so happy to see you're back. And he's just kind of
Aw,
like downplaying everything, but he's actually like super dope. And he's like
that's cool.
teaching this new crop of kids coming up here. It's a lot of fun.
Is that on Crunchyroll?
Um, I know
It's
it's
on
on.
Amazon.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
on Amazon?
Amazon.
Okay.
He's
Mhm.
Well,
basically OP as fuck and doesn't think he's OP. So
Yeah.
that's why all his
um,
students end up becoming S rank adventurers.
Oh
And
my
Mhm.
god,
then they
that's
all
funny.
come to see him, and then he's like, "Why do they want to train with me?" And he's like, "I trained them when they were brand new," but he doesn't realize he's OP as hell.
Mhm.
Cute.
Lazarus, I'm caught up on. I'm loving Lazarus like a lot. So that is it's a good mystery slash action adventure. I'm liking the cast. I'm liking the characters in it. Yaiba, I'm falling in love with more with each episode. Yaiba is just dope. I love the combination of like it still looks old as far as the art style of it, but since it's done now, it looks great when it's fluid and the animation is flowing and everything. It's hilarious. That's a top tier one for me during this season right now. Uh, Windbreakers, caught up on that. I like this episode because it's a big character development for Sakura. Like
Mhm.
seeing all of his people get beat up pretty much and having an upperclassman come save him. Uh, it was a good, like I said, character depth, emotional episode for that. Like it wasn't too much on the fighting and everything. Now we just were heavy in that for the first two episodes. So good to slow it down for a second, get some character growth. We got introduced to a new character at the end of it, most likely another gang. So I'm waiting to see where they go with that. And To Be Hero X. I'm still not sold on the CG animation of it, but I'm liking it more with each episode. Like it this week's episode was I thought was dope. I thought it was good. Uh yes, I watched two of them back to back today because I didn't see the one where didn't see episode two where he was sleeping next to her and she was we thought might have been dead at the end of the first episode, but apparently she
Mhm.
wasn't. So uh and seeing where all that led to and he's coming up in the ranks now. The what was the guy's name? Nice, the character he's playing. Is that the
Oh,
superhero's name?
I don't remember.
not
I think it's
not. I feel like it sounds like that, but I don't want to. Doesn't sound exactly like the word.
yeah, but the main character coming more, being more comfortable and coming into himself, and you see him spilling out into the character. Like people are
Hmm.
noticing differences between his old portrayal and his new one since he's taking over the role now. It's a lot of fun, and I actually appreciate now when they do switch to animations. It gives me that Naruto vibe, like when animations form one way and you know you're about to get a dope action sequence, and you see the animation switch, you just kind of sit like, okay, they're about to get busy right now. This is kind of doing that. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to Naruto.
Yeah.
Like when you get to like the Rock Lee fight, you notice the animation switches. Like, okay, something vicious about to happen.
That happens in every anime.
Mhm.
Right before a
Mm,
fight scene, I noticed the animation switched.
in
The
some of
last
them, not
anime we were
in
watching,
some of them, but not all of them. But I
and
first
almost
noticed.
every anime I could think of, the animation sometimes is better than others, but it'll get a subtle like difference where it becomes a little bit looser. And then, you know, what I mean, ones like Demon
Mhm.
Slayer are perfect at hiding it, or like what Sakamoto. No, Sakamoto days you could tell too. But
Yeah.
usually, right before the fight, you'll see like the character animation change and stuff
Yeah,
because
change up a
they're
little bit.
gonna be
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I like
But
it when it does
Naruto
that
is
in this.
like they have, yeah, it's really distinct.
Yeah, like they really
Naruto
did
is
switch up
easy
to
to
a completely
tell.
different animation style when they get into that bag, and I do like that more so now after I've got these three episodes in of To Be Hero X. So I do appreciate those moments when they do that. But like I said, I'm still something about the CG in it bothers me. I'm still trying to figure out what it is and put my finger on it when in the CG animation versus like traditional and unique or whatever regular
You don't have
animation.
to like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
But just I don't. I'm trying. I'm in
It's
my
like I'm
brain.
trying to put my finger on, trying to
Yeah.
force myself to like. You don't have to like
No,
it.
I'm not for it. I'm trying. I don't like it. But I'm trying to figure out why I don't like it. That's the problem because I'm watching it and I'm enjoying what's happening
I
and
love
everything.
it.
But something about it is
This is
just
definitely
irking me
one of
and I
my
can't put
favorites.
my
I
finger
can't
on it.
lie.
But as far as my top threes for the week, number one, hold on, let me start at the bottom. Number three, I'll say is probably To Be Hero X. Yeah, be number three.
It
Uh,
still made top three.
it did. It did. Number two is Jaiba. And number one is Lazarus for me. Those are my top threes of the week. What about you, Gab?
Did you watch Fire Force?
I did, but I think the problem with that one is like this is Fire Force right now is my last season's ReZero because it comes on earlier than everything else. So by the time I've got through
Mm.
the other stuff, I'd forgotten that I watched Fire Force early in the week. But I really did enjoy Fire Force too.
But it didn't make it on the list.
Because I had forgotten to just remind me that oh yes, I did watch that as well. Yes, and that was dope. It was fire, no pun intended, but intended.
Eh. He said the word.
I did.
Hell yeah,
He said the word.
like that.
Okay. I loved Fire Force. It's so good. I love seeing the fire again. I really missed it. Honestly, they did the best fire animation ever.
Yeah, they
So
cook.
I was really happy with this episode. I thought the animation was great. I really like, I don't think I mentioned it last time, but I really like this season's opening. It's another catchy one. Um, and they've always just had clean opening transitions for me. But so that was great. I also watched more of Witch Watch, which
Okay.
is, I think it might have my favorite opening of this season. And I think because it's by, I'm going to totally butcher the name, Yasobi? Yasobi?
Yawasobi.
Thank you. Yasobi. And I absolutely love every single song they've ever created. So I can't, I love it. I can't put it down, but it's almost got a transition. The title has like one title, but it's got like three different little mini storylines in it. And it's just a nice little fantasy school day thing. She's a witch, he's an ogre. Now there's a Tengu in episode 3, and I'm like, what is going on? But I love those kinds of characters. So Witch
Hmm.
Watch is slowly becoming my favorite of the
Heck yeah.
season. Uh the Unaware Altermeister is also really good. Another that isekai. I think I'm not that strong. This one has a very unusually long title. When it comes to the title card, I always forget how long it actually is, but I think it's like 25 words or something.
Hmm.
It's kind of ridiculous, but basically he's like S class, S triple S class and everything except for fighting. So that's kind of funny. Um, so it makes for some pretty good tropes in that one.
Okay.
The brilliant healer's new life in, I think it's in the shadows, the one where he's the underground healer. The first episode we kind of thought it might be a little, I don't know, just weird because it's had the three girls of the different types, and it's like, is this that kind of anime? I don't think it is. So episode 2
Okay.
and last episodes. And this episode really solidified. We got some background about the girls, how they met, how he started, how he met the young girl that he has living with him, and he's helping like kind of take care of her because she was a slave. It gives some good background to them, how they came to live with the wraith lady that they live with. It's all fairly cute, and I actually really enjoy the background to this. Simple.
Okay.
It's kind of fast paced in the episode because they kind of put everything in one, but it doesn't feel rushed, so that's good. Really enjoying that. Windbreakers, of course, I love it. I love my moments with Sakura. He
Hmm.
is
Great
he
episode.
is a cutie soon. Doesn't want anyone to know his emotions, but they can tell it all over his face. He's terrible at hiding anything.
Facts.
Mhm. And I like how we got, like you said, send that emotional moment, and those
Hmm.
breaks are always really good in the shows.
I'm glad he wasn't mad at Homeboy for calling in the upperclassmen
Hmm.
on him. I'm glad he wasn't mad about that, even though he was blown at
Yeah.
first. But like he knows, look, I was just
He
looking
knew he
out.
needed that help.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
just
really
looking out
did.
for his team. Yeah.
No, Nuyukun made the right call, so it was fantastic. Uh Also watched Caught Up with Dinner Time Detective.
Grab my water.
Okay.
Cute as usual. I'm falling even more in love with his butler and his lady. They're so cute.
When you called her stupid, that was hilarious in the first
Oh
episode.
my, yes. I was like, what are you doing? You're stupid. What?
Like,
You
yeah,
know
you
it's a
got
good relationship when he can just call her
yeah,
stupid.
he can just get that
And
off.
he's
Yeah.
the butler. And then I did, no, be proud of me. I did catch up with Yaiba. So I did it. Wanted to
Isn't
make
it
sure I
so
got that
good?
one.
Yes.
It's so cute. It you were like you just said, Sid, it reminds me of that old anime. It's got like the Ramana and
Hmm.
Inuyasha kind of like
Art style. Yeah.
art style, but it's so smooth and it's just cute. I like it. It touches the
He
nostalgia
be wanting to
hit.
throw hands.
Oh yeah, I love the MC.
He's just like, you want to fight? No, leave them alone.
The second episode when
His
he stole all my man gear and hit it everywhere, and he was going on trying to chase. I'm like, this little dude is a menace. Like
He's
he
a
got
menace to
arrows coming out.
society.
He got arrows coming out the ground trying to stab. I'm
that
like,
fight was
okay.
so dope.
Yeah.
With
That was
Studio was
hilarious.
crushing that. His voice actor reminds me of Kid Gohan. I didn't look up who he is, but when he be screaming, he sounds like Kid Gohan a lot.
Yeah. But if I had to rank them, I would say, mm, um, yeah, I was gonna do my honorable mention at 4 because I just can't dethrone these other three. But I've got Fire Force number 3, Windbreaker is my number 2, and this week's number 1 is just Witch Watch, because we had some good progress in this mission that he has to protect the witch from dying in a year from a prophecy that her mom is helping to prophesize, and he got a
Mhm.
new prophecy basically about this, other bad thing that's going to happen to her from the mom when she sends like 80,000 boxes of manga books, and it's hilarious. And that's where we meet this Tengu book guy.
Okay.
Um, and so I was just really into it. But Witch Watch is number 1. I swear it
Okay.
doesn't have anything to do with the opening, but I really love the opening.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely this week. Now that WrestleMania is past, I will be watching all of those this week
Yeah, let's
to
go.
finally make sure I'm caught up on everything. But go ahead, Noah, your top 3.
My top 3 are
Baby.
number 1 is probably Lazarus as well. Number 2 would have to be Yaiba,
Okay.
and number 3 would have to be what else did I watch?
So Lazarus, I was down with the black dude tried to swindle him with the basketball. Hey, you want to play a
Mhm.
game? I was like, this is not gonna go good for you, homeboy. And it didn't.
Yeah, yeah, sick. Um, what else did I watch? I also watched the Old Country Bumpkin. I really like that one. That was a good episode. Vigilantes had a good episode this week as well.
Start that this week as well. Yep.
I
That
Gotta
forgot to
start
one's
that too.
watch Vigilantes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot
that
to watch it.
one.
I gotta watch it.
Same here.
It definitely looks like it's gonna be a fun little 26 episode series.
It looks so
Um,
cute.
so that was a good episode. His powers are pretty. His power is pretty. Well, his power is kind of useless, but their squad is pretty cool. Illegal heroes, unregistered heroes. Aizawa shows up and he was about to beat the dude's butt, but then he didn't. He
I saw
realized
memes about that.
he just didn't have
Just like
powers. He was just strong as hell. So he's like,
Aizawa
"Oh,
just standing there with
if
groceries.
you're not abusing your powers," he's like, "I can't lock you up." Yeah.
I love Aizawa.
Um.
He can't catch a break in his show with his kids, and here with these new kids, he can't catch a break. He's like,
Right. He's in teacher mode 24/7.
mm,
Um. And then To Be Hero X is probably my third one. Um. Actually, I think Yaiba would probably be my first, and Lazarus would be my second because that Yaiba episode was really really good.
Mm-hmm.
mm.
Um, other than that, I watched. Oh, I haven't seen the second episode of Takamine yet to see if it continued to be as goony as it is. I know it will.
That's the other one I forgot to watch. Okay, I'm
The
just gonna
second
watch that
episode,
after we're done, so then I can watch it because I keep forgetting.
the second one, episode of Gundam G Cux was good as well.
I did
There's
watch
an,
that.
there's another one on Amazon.
Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I have watched
Journal
that
of the
also.
Mysterious Creatures. Was that it?
Huh?
Was that the new one? No, it wasn't. They have one more on Amazon that I watched. Oh, my computer Amazon's different than my TV Amazon.
Huh.
Different history. Yeah, there's one more I'm forgetting. Windbreakers was a great episode. We did see some Sakura growth
Yeah.
and some more growth with the team.
Mhm. I'm really
Um,
starting to like the dude with the headphones from the upperclassmen. The
oh
man,
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
he's becoming my guy.
yeah.
that's cool.
Where I still love the dude with the iPads. He's really cool.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, I love him to death.
Um, the beginning after the end third episode was still mid, but
yeah,
Yeah.
mid animation. But the story is interesting, so we'll keep watching. I don't know. I can't remember. There's one more episode that I watched and I'm forgetting about it. I didn't put it on Plex. I don't know. Oh, there's this one called Kowloon Generic Romance,
I know of it.
and I watched the first episode. It was pretty good. I
Okay,
probably won't watch it, but it was a good
Where
first episode.
where
okay.
is it on?
Is it on
Is it on
Amazon
Crunchyroll?
or
I don't know.
Crunchyroll? One of those. I feel like. So I've seen it on one of the two.
Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Okay. Oh, this art stuff looks familiar.
There's so many different watching platforms. I can't remember where I watch
Yeah,
everything.
I know, right? That's why I forgot about Sakamoto Days, honestly, halfway through the season that it came out in because it was on Netflix and I forgot about
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yep.
that's what it was. Also went to the movies this weekend. That's why I can watch more. I went
What
to
did
the
you
movies.
see at the movie?
Sinners. Yeah, I went to see that Friday right
Can't
after work.
remember.
So when I came home that night, I instantly jumped right to SmackDown and went to sleep, and then woke up and it was WrestleMania for the rest of the weekend.
Wow.
Oh well, can't remember. But
Okay,
those are my top three.
solid
This is a
choices.
sad story. Sorry, I'm reading the summary of this. Oh my
Uh,
god.
the Kowloon one.
Oh.
Yeah, but Yaiba is definitely a standout one for sure. Yeah, I'm highly looking forward to the next episode of that.
Heck
Definitely.
yeah.
All right, so with that out of the way, how you feeling? Noah, you good?
Yeah.
All right,
Mostly.
all
I'm good
right,
enough to do news. And I did a limited amount this week
all right. Well, let's knock it out.
Mhm.
or cut some things out. But
Let's figure out what we
first
need to
things
know about.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Say again.
No, so let's just figure out what we need to know about.
Okay.
Everything.
First things first, we have Boruto season 2 has officially been announced by
Yes.
Studio Payrot. So that's
I
hype.
always
The
forget there was
time
a
skip.
season one because it was so freaking long.
It
Yeah.
really isn't season 2. It's like part 2 actually.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't think Naruto and them did seasons.
Yeah. But they announced they changed on their website, on Payrot's website, and said part 2 production decided. So I'm assuming they've hired the staff, picked the
Mm-hmm.
funding, all that different things, and they're
Mhm.
gonna start the production soon. It's been greenlit, so that's
Nice.
really exciting. And it's rumored to come back in a seasonal format. So
Okay.
um
We've
with
talked
the
about that
success
before
of
in here.
Bleach,
Yeah.
hopefully it comes back with some animation upgrades and
I'm
no
sure it
filler
will.
and all that good
That
stuff.
would be
I'm
nice.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, probably 2027. With that
Mhm.
being said, there's no there's no Black Clover news yet. Studio Payrot is very busy reportedly.
Hey, take your time. Just when it comes out, just make sure it's correct. That's all I
Yeah,
ask. So don't
So
want to be
correct.
disappointed. Yeah, don't want to be disappointed.
Don't you dare mess up my buddy and his little buddy.
So we're gonna take care of
hopefully they'll be
Bleach,
working on both of
then
them or
then Boruto, yes, and then we can work on, you know, Black
I'm
Clover.
okay waiting for Black Clover if they don't mess it up. If they need time for Boruto now, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you dare mess up my Black Clover.
hopefully they can work on them both and drop with this new studio they're creating because it's been 5 years since we've had Black Clover. So
Oh, I would like more.
with
Yeah,
Boruto coming, it could be another 2 years till we hear anything if they're only working on one at a time. But I think they'll work on more than one at a time. So
they could drop
Mhm.
one in like spring, one in the winter or the fall or something like that to offset the other one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that could
yeah,
work.
hopefully.
We could do that.
And in more Payrod news, Actually, this is amazing news, but Kingdom season 6 has been announced, and they gave us a beautiful cover art, and it's
Mm-hmm.
coming in October too, so not that far away. Beautiful cover art with my boy Shin standing up,
Mm-hmm.
holding Oki's glaive,
Yep.
and in the anime, y'all haven't seen him use Oki's glaive yet. So the fact that he's holding it on the cover art should give anime fans, anime only fans, some hype for this season coming up. This season is Sho versus Ken, and Sho is the main villain who's Riboku, the blonde dude, the one who did Oki in. So
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that's really exciting.
That's what
We
you need to
were
be ready for by then, Gabby, when that one drops.
Okay.
Gotta go down the Kingdom rabbit hole.
See now if Gabby's a reader, so don't even watch Kingdom, read it. That's my suggestion
Okay.
to
I can
everyone.
manage that.
Notice how I never recommend Kingdom anime to anyone. Read it. It's literally One Piece level manga experience, and that's no joke. It often beats One Piece sales with no global release. So just know it's really like that. If but that being said, Lo, you may want to rewatch it for the sixth season comes out. Who knows? But
I probably will watch the last season again before it comes out.
it's 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 uh it's because I was thinking about that and I was like, I feel like you sitting down and binging it would probably get a better understanding of the characters and dynamics now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But either way,
Yeah, don't need
I'm
to go back
super
to the
hyped for
first two
that.
seasons at least. No, they can miss me with those first two.
Super excited. And yeah. The first two, I don't mind the first two. Actually, I'm when I rewatch Kingdom, I'm gonna rewatch the first two just because the story detail is still there.
Yeah, the story is great. It's just
And a lot of
visually,
it's
yeah.
like but a lot of it's like court talk. So it's like the fight by the time the big fight happens, which is the one with Mobu, that's season 3, that's when I'm good. It's still, trust me, you've heard how upset I am about the anime.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
the
know when we were
first
watching
10
Yeah.
together,
got
you would
some
send me,
got
you would
some
just send
core
me
story
panels. I'm looking at the
detail.
panels like, that's not what just happened.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
his fingers are going here and other things. Like, that's okay, crazy.
Yeah. That's one that another anime that Payrod has ruined. I've been saying forever they need to give it to Wit Studio so they can do the same treatment they did with Vinland Saga on it, and then it will be the biggest anime in the whole world. It really would be crazy. Um, so that's super exciting for me. Next is Diablo 4 and Berserk have announced a collab, and I'm assuming this is a cosmetic
Interesting.
collab.
Okay,
Yeah.
Um, so at some point I'm gonna get back into Diablo 4 because once I beat the game, I just took a break from it, but
ditto.
I definitely gonna get back into it because I've always loved Diablo, and this is giving me a reason because I saw on the little they had like a little 30-second trailer, but it was someone in not Guts, but it was someone in Guts armor with Guts sword. So
I
I was
figured
like,
Good Sword would be
oh,
the biggest thing from a collab. Like, yeah, get the cosmetics for that at least.
I need Melanie armor. That would be so crazy. Hopefully it comes out really good. But that'll definitely bring some more fans to Diablo 4.
For sure.
And anime collabs are always cool.
Agreed. Yes.
Love
Hmm.
them.
Shine more light. Yeah.
Yes. Um, the beginning after the end, which is next that we're talking about, has its petition. I think last week, what did I say it was up to? I think it was like 12,000 last
Something
week.
like that. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
petition,
Yeah.
excuse me, is up to 50,000 votes now. That this is a
Dang.
petition that got started 2 episodes after to have the anime scrapped and remade. Obviously, the studio is never going to listen to this, but
No.
it's
No,
interesting
not
to
at all.
see.
It's funny though.
There's
Um,
a whole petition for this thing. Everyone thinks it's that bad.
yeah, it's not even that they think it's bad, it's that a lot of fans are the same thing would happen probably times 10 if they did this to solo leveling. The same thing would happen because this series has a lot of fans, and that's partially why, for example, solo leveling got so hyped and popular is because a lot of fans were waiting for it.
Mhm.
So all the fans waiting for this just got disappointed with basic C tier animation.
Hmm.
And so everyone's upset, notably so. I would be super upset if I was a big fan of this series and I saw this. I definitely would be super upset. So I feel for him, but the author has responded,
Okay.
Oh, what
which
did he
is
say?
crazy because that's how you know there is a lot of people complaining about this.
What they say?
So the author said a lot. Turtle Me is his name. I sent you a screenshot of him. He's
Okay.
obviously a Korean guy,
Hmm.
and he is the creator of this. And he created it, like I said, and this is where I found out he created it for himself. But the ending of the like 10 paragraphs he wrote, I read it all, but I'll read y'all
Hmm.
the big chunk at the end, which is the important part, which is as the author of the beginning after the end, one who has spent 10 years writing almost 2 million words of this story, I hope you'll believe me when I say that I want nothing but the best for this story. Whatever feelings you have for the anime, I am thankful for the people behind the scenes who have given me this opportunity, and I'm thankful for all of you helping make this happen in the first place. You stuck through the beginning after the end at its highs and lows. And so I ask for your support now. Please continue being the rock that gave the beginning after the end the time and chance to be where it is today. I'm not asking you to like something you don't, but please be respectful and set an example in a vast ocean that is the internet. Many creators think their fan base has a double-edged sword. But as one who is fortunate to be wielding this sword, I know that it all starts with acknowledging and respecting both blades. Every decision I make regarding the beginning after the end, I make with the intention of respecting myself and all of the time and tears I've spent writing it, respecting those supporting me in an unfamiliar industry, and respecting you and all in the hopes that whatever you made could be something you like. I'm only human, and not every one of my decisions may play out perfectly. But believe me when I say that I respect you, my fans, your dedication and support for getting after the end. I'm very thankful so much for to SakuraCon where he actually is going, and I can't wait to meet those who can make it, so I can share a small piece of announcement. I mean, small piece special announcement with you all. A small special announcement with you all. That being said, in short, basically what he said is, you don't gotta like it, but stop shitting on me.
No,
that's
I salute
basically
him for that. Yeah,
that's
I think
salute
basically
him
that's
for
what
that.
he
a
Yeah,
said.
very good
yeah,
response.
I agree.
I mean, it's true. You have to think of it that way. It is a lot of fandoms are double-edged swords. You like things so much, but then you also gotta be like, I like it, but
Yeah,
it's not good. But that doesn't mean it. I don't know. But
I
that
like
was
the
a good
whole.
response.
Yeah, I like the whole. You stuck with me through the highs and lows of me building this whole story. Like,
Yeah.
give it. Like, I understand you're upset, but let it cook. Like, give it a chance. You know what I mean? Before you start tearing down on it. Like, it's only 3 episodes in. Like, y'all put this petition together after the first episode. So like, let's relax now. Let's just give the animators and all that stuff time to balance everything and get everything straight. Like, nah, I'm with him on that. I'm with him 100.
It's
percent
very respectful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all have that opinion because I am not with him at all.
Okay.
Really?
At all.
Really?
Um, no, like I'm obviously be respectful to him and like, but fans have the right to voice their opinion. Don't attack
Oh no,
him,
they
but you have the
do.
right to voice your opinion. And
Mhm.
what he's saying is just he's seeing an overwhelming amount of hate towards the series because um of a decision he made, which we all feel like he knew, which from our understanding is he accepted this studio. So
Hmm.
it's like what I picture the scenario is he originally wrote this for himself. It got much bigger than he anticipated, and then someone offered us the opportunity to animate it. He may not have really weighed his choices, or maybe thought this choice wouldn't come back, so he just said yes. Right. As to where somebody else who maybe is like, I don't know, a writer like Oda or someone like that may say,
Mhm.
nah, I like my story too much to where even if it's not going to get animated for another 6 years, I'd rather it not be done by this studio. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's kind of like he said, all my decisions aren't going to play out perfectly. And I agree. But this decision is a big decision because this can literally put your shit on the shelf. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, it's right to let them cook, but this is why I get upset when studios ruin series because it's not changing. I keep saying this. So it's only episode 2, yeah, but this is the staff, so it's going to be like this.
Mhm.
This level of animation only has the capacity to get so much better. It's not going to switch to solo leveling or free run tomorrow. Not going
Yeah.
to happen. Even the
That's
best
yes.
of Dr. Stone was B tier animation because that's just where it's at, right?
Mhm.
So it's like that's where people are upset. And I kind of agree with people. I'm not saying you should shit on the series endlessly, but I agree if you've been supporting this series for a long time and then every other series that's super popular is getting great attention and yours happens to not, then you're valid in being upset.
Oh
And
yeah.
sometimes as an author, you just F up. And I personally think he effed up by allowing this studio to do it. Because if you see that a studio is requesting or pitching for your story, then you can take some time back. Maybe it'll take a little bit of time, but start repitching it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I don't know what the answer is, but I know that I feel like he's a young guy. Like he looks like he's like 24 or something. So I feel like
Taking
he
some more
could have
time.
You
maybe
could have waited a little longer.
waited a little longer. That's my
Mhm.
humble opinion. You know what I mean? I am gonna watch it, but I can tell you now that as we know, animation is one of the most important things in anime. Like we've seen it with everything. You've seen a story
Well,
like
it's in the
Solo
name,
Leveling.
animation, anime.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
It's true.
that's basically around one person like Solo Leveling, and it's still because the animation is so great becomes the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm with him, but I'm not with him. I'm like, I understand, but I'm not saying this is what he has to say for the fans. So
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
his response was professional and valid.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. But I'm still saying, like, yeah, I know you're, but I'm like, nah, you kind of gotta let fans take their piece because you got thousands of fans now. So that's when you kind of have a responsibility. It'd be the same if George R. Martin wrote the last book that everyone's waiting for and it was poop. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, y'all chill. It's like, nah, bro, we've been waiting for 6 years and this is crap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This is
so it's like we've been supporting, showing up, saying this is the best thing ever. And it's
Mhm.
true. The beginning after the M fans been in my ear telling me this is the greatest, telling me to read this, telling me it's so good. It's gonna be great. It's better than Mashuko Tensei or matches up with a story, all of this. And then so
it's
to
pretty
see
high
that,
praise.
yeah. And it's like if it was to be good right now, it has nothing to compete with right now. There's just Fire Force, which isn't even it's coming off of a hiatus, so it doesn't have the same hype it did. It's building it back, but it has nothing to so now is a great time. That's why I mean I still think Soul Leveling would be big, would be, but like if it was airing with Demon Slayer and Bleach and stuff like that,
Mhm.
it's not gonna have as much memes and
Yeah.
attention and stuff, right? So I understand. I'm just saying I understand both sides. I get, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
No.
I also
Yeah.
feel like in my head, I'm just like, did you not like sit down and watch the stuff this studio
I
makes?
mean, maybe what he saw, he was impressed by, and he liked. That's a
Right. But like
very
his art is literally better than the studio's art.
now
Like what's
that
on there.
is
That's
that's the problem. Yeah, that's the
terrible.
problem. That's the
So
problem.
I'm like,
Yeah.
would you like Solo Leveling? The manga art or manhwa art is better than the series, but the art is still good. And mind you, that artist was just like really extra rare. But
Hmm.
like for it to be like significantly better or significantly worse is just
Mhm.
like you couldn't have said nah. You know what I'm saying? Because once he probably pitched it, then after the title and everything, the licenses are signed. He probably doesn't have a lot of control. I believe he
Yes.
said that in this paragraph. He says, receive coming to myself sitting in a cafe writing a novel. Yeah, see, here's where he says, coming from the time I was sitting in a cafe writing the novel by myself for myself. It's obvious just how large you get. So I'm pretty sure it got way bigger than I learned in the anime industry is very rare for the creator to have a say in deciding the ins and outs when it comes to the inception of an anime. So once the anime is picked up, that's what I'm saying. It's really
Mhm.
important which studio you pick because that's your decision. That's where you have control. Now you've lost control and you've put it in the hands of a studio that doesn't have good anime. So it's like if I give it to Wit, I'd be like, I don't even care. Just
Right,
do what you
right.
do. Even if it's not what I like, it'll still be good. You know what I mean? But you gave it to a studio that's known for dropping poop. So um that's what he
Yeah.
was saying. Is like maybe he's young, he was kind of naive, saw a bunch of opportunities and just signed a bunch of yeses as opposed to like saying, I don't know. Let me wait, let me see. But now, like I said, I get being upset because if it's bad enough, people just, you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
could be shelved, it could be canceled, it could take 5 years for season two. That's why it's like you can't really let it cook. It's either good or not. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In my opinion.
I can see
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah, I get it. I completely get it.
So that being said, I really feel for the author and I hope he's able to deal with the negativity in a positive way. And I hope
Agreed.
the series genuinely does do well. So then
Yeah.
possibly they can hire a better animation director, which I don't know because this studio has nothing good. So I don't know. Um,
I think that's going to all depend on how this season runs, whether it even does good or whatever. Like if they want to renew it or run it back, or he wants to see if anybody else wants to pick it up or afterwards, or
I just don't even know what it depends on because Doctor Stone season 1 was amazing. And then the second season, I mean, like popularity wise, and then the
Mhm.
second season was all stills as well. Third season, we still got stills in the final season. So it's like, I don't even know anymore. And then you've got series like Kaiju number 8, which gives me a little hope, where season 2, the character design changes because they
True.
literally
Yeah.
heard people complaining. I mean, I
Did
can't
you?
confirm that's the reason, but I'm assuming.
Agreed. I'm assuming that as well.
Yes.
Man.
Either that or the author saw it and he was just like, yo, like,
What are you doing to my
Yeah, like, hold
characters?
on, no, fix this right now. Run this back.
because there's got to be some level of licensing that goes on
They've
to
got to
where
have
people can
some sort of
say
input in it.
something. But I don't know because I feel like a lot of times they don't, because even I know that even sometimes what I learned last week when I was explaining to y'all, sometimes the studio doesn't even have the control. It'll be the production company. So say the studio wants to put this character this way, but the production company's like, no, we're doing it in India and they don't want a character with big boobs. So you got to make the boobs smaller.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't really know. I don't know how you can fix it, but I know it's frustrating seeing that, especially for the start of your story, because that's a big
Yeah.
impact on whether people are going to
Yeah.
watch it or not. Um, that's the biggest thing about Kingdom is the first season is the start of the story when you're watching it.
Yep.
So is the animation. So, anyways, moving on. According to leaks, Honey Lemon Soda season 2 is in production.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, and
Yes.
finally, actually, I have two pieces. One that I didn't even write down, but I'm remembering now. But
Secrets.
the My Hero movie will be coming to Netflix, I think, at the end of the month.
Which
And
one? The one that came out last year?
Yeah.
yeah, the newest one.
Yeah, it's on there now.
Okay, so it's
I
on
just
there
see it.
now.
It's on there now. I
And
was
did
just
you already
looking
watch
at
it?
it. No. I have put it I was scrolling Netflix and I put it on my list.
Okay,
So
I'm
it's
pretty
on
sure
there.
that movie is the best animation that the series has to offer, like so far. Not
Really?
in like that they don't have that, but that's the best animation, yeah, for sure, that they've done in Bone. I mean, in My Hero so far, because
Oh, I'm
that was
interested to see it.
really good animation.
Hmm.
And then the arc was pretty good too. The arc was genuinely good enough to be like a little mini arc in the series.
Yeah.
So that's coming. That's on Netflix now, and then the Attack on Titan, the Attack on Titan movie, The Last Attack, is now on Crunchyroll as well.
Okay. Thank you for that. I need that right now. Need to
They
add that
had a
Oh yeah,
to.
I keep
movie?
forgetting you haven't. It's such it's literally a crime against humanity that you haven't seen the ending of Attack on Titan.
It's true.
I will. I will this week.
That's
now that
crazy.
I know that it is on Crunchyroll.
Let's see. It was already on Crunchyroll. It
Well,
was just,
the
and
final
now it's a
movie. Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. The
And I
final
don't even
movie.
know. Gotta make sure that movie has all the right details in there. You might gotta watch the full episodes
I was
first.
gonna say I would just watch the episodes.
Yeah, for real.
Why, if you have something that's in episodes and they put it in the movie, why would you watch the movie over the
Listen,
episodes? Because they're
I've been
obviously
asked.
cutting things out of the episodes to make it into a movie.
This man said he wanted to wait. I'm like, bro, that's like Breaking Bad ending, and you gotta wait. I'm like, some of these things you don't wait on. You just crunch them.
I
Like
tried.
Gear and
It's
Fight,
so
Gear
disappointing.
5. Can't wait on them.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Was that all the stuff, or was there anything left on the list?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. So let's open up the floor to whatever we need to discuss. Heads up, there's no Chainsaw Man update. I have not read it since last we spoke.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make up for that this week and try to get
Okay.
finished with part one.
Okay.
I
Yes.
bought things.
You bought some stuff? What you got? You got a lot going on over there.
Do.
Okay, what do we have here? Ah,
I bought Toilet Bound Hanaka-kun manga.
Oh,
okay.
box set.
Yeah, this is 1 through 10. That picture.
Nice.
I like the box.
And then this is the second one.
Oh, you bought them both?
Yeah, 11 through 20. The series isn't finished yet.
Okay.
From you got it from Barnes and Nobles?
Nah, Amazon.
Oh,
Good add
nice.
to the collection.
I was like, because I was rewatching it with my my cousin's kid when I had her last weekend, and she really wanted to watch Toilet Bound, so we binged the whole first season, and then I started reading because I needed to find where I left off in the manga,
hmm
and so I was trying to find somewhere to read it, but it's not on any of the sites, and I didn't want to go find it others places. So I was like, I'll just buy some of the manga. And I saw the box sets and I'm like, I need them all now. So
Nice.
plus they're like really pretty and I love all the colors that they do. They're like One Piece where they do like all the different colors. And this is just cool. It's
Yeah.
like the toilet stalls.
Yeah.
I'll take your word on it because I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah. This is I mean the toilet stalls and the pants go all the way up. So
and have you
yeah.
read all 20 of those or
no.
Okay.
No. I've probably read almost the first 10
Okay.
volumes up to at the point I think. So like the next 10 and maybe some of the last few here are all brand new to me.
Okay.
So I am very, very excited to see. I'm gonna have so much fun.
I was like, I know
I'm
you're
very
excited.
excited. I love Toilet. I love Toilet Bound. It's one of my favorite anime.
You need to get a
mangas.
plushie.
I do.
Uh-oh.
A Hanako-kun plushie.
Pretty sure you can find one somewhere. See, look, there she goes down the rabbit hole.
Oh my goodness. You're gonna have to. Sorry, I can't talk anymore. My throat is killing me.
I was about to ask if
I'm
there was
about to
anything
be
else
toilet bound in a second.
Oh
We don't need that.
my
Uh,
god, they're
coming.
so cute.
Do we want to try to finish Fate Zero this week? It's 5 episodes left.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. I know you got to catch up on the one that we watched, I think, Gabby. So what is that, night?
You guys just watched one more after I left?
Yeah, we watched 20. So 20 we left
Okay.
off there. Yeah, so we're starting at 21 this week. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'm still loving it.
Good.
And like I said,
The
5
next
episodes
one we
left.
watch, we need to watch in like 2 weeks because it's only 12. So we should do like 6 and 6 for real.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm cool with
Just
that.
burn
Yeah.
through it,
Yeah, I'm
'cause
cool with
it's only
that.
12.
Yeah. Absolute easy. And this weekend I plan on watching Devil May Cry and Moonrise since they're all on Netflix now. So I'm gonna try to blow through all those this weekend and come back and talk about those next week. Either of you get a chance to watch the first episode of Moonrise?
I didn't.
Okay.
The heck is
I was
Moonrise?
busy this week.
On
It's on
Netflix.
Netflix. It's another
Oh,
series with studios
oh.
dropping.
Yeah, it was one that was number 1 for me
Oh,
last
yeah.
week. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I remember that. Yes. No, I did not.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. I put it on my list, but
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish those out this weekend since I have conventions and all that type of stuff to do this weekend. So
Mhm.
along with new stuff like Witch Watch that you brought up and some of the other things, I'm gonna try to get to those this week so I can catch up on as much as possible, along with trying to finish the first part of Chainsaw Man. Like I said, now that WrestleMania week is over, go back to my anime grind. So that's where I'll be at this week. So hopefully I can have a lot more to discuss with you guys next week. But we're gonna go ahead and shut it down and get out of here so no one can rest.
I need
Gabby,
it.
so Gabby can read her mangas and find the
they
Hanako
have a
Kun plushie.
Hanako-kun Funko Pop. He's sitting on a toilet.
And why don't you have it?
I will soon.
Okay, you'll be unboxing that next week.
If it gets here.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, y'all. Sorry
Yeah,
we
go
had to
ahead,
cut it short
go
early
ahead and
this
close
week,
it down. Go ahead.
but I feel like
Yeah.
poop. And y'all know where to find us. Check out Patreon floating up top. And we'll catch y'all next week.
All right, get better, bro.
Bye.
All right.
Well.
Loading snacks.